Hello and welcome to GrAI's Thoughts. My name is Gray, and today we're stepping into the autumn of 1944, near the end of World War II. Picture the Low Countries, cold winds sweeping over muddy fields, distant gunfire on the horizon, and soldiers clinging to hope as the war grinds on. Our guest is Private William Carter, a British infantryman from Sunderland, serving on the front lines. He's seen the toll of this war up close, yet he carries with him the grit and heart that define the British soldier. William, thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me, Gray. It's a strange feeling talking like this, but if it helps people understand what we're going through, then I'm all for it.
All right then, soldier. Please tell us more about yourself. How old are you, where are you from, and what was your life like before the war started?
Name's William Carter. I'm 23 from a mining town near Sunderland up in the northeast of England. Life before the war was simple, really. I worked in the mines with me, old man. The work was tough, long hours, but it kept food on the table. The town was close-knit, everyone knew each other. We didn't have much, but we made do. We'd go to the pub on weekends, have a pint and talk about football, the usual things. It wasn't glamorous, but it was home. Then the war came and everything changed. It was like we were all pulled into something bigger than ourselves.
Before we go too deep, tell me, are you safe right now? I mean, this moment we're talking, is there any immediate danger, or do you have a rare moment of calm?
It's quiet for now, but out here, quiet can be deceiving. You never quite let your guard down. We've a push planned for tomorrow. Officer gave us a speech earlier, roused the spirits, said we're making history, said we'll push through like the Tommies before us. We cheered, but there's always that knot in the stomach.
Tell me about that speech. What did your officer say tonight that stuck with you?
He stood there, cap off, eyes clear. Told us tomorrow's about more than ground. It's about our lads next to us, about making home proud. He said the enemy's watching too, hoping we lose heart. But the British heart, it doesn't stop beating. Gave me chills, it did. Not fear, really, more steel in the spine.
How did your family react when you joined the army, or were you conscripted? Were they proud, or were they frightened? Did they try to talk you out of it?
Mom wept. Held it in at first, but I saw it in her eyes. Dad just nodded. He'd fought in the last war. Didn't say much, but it gave me his old shaving kit, like a rite of passage. My younger sister, Annie, she made me a little stitched hanky with my initials. I still keep it. They were proud but terrified.
And how did you feel signing up? Were you scared or excited?
At first, scared out of my skin, but then pride kicked in. You don't want to be the one who stayed behind. There's this pressure to be a man, to do your part. That first week of training, though, I questioned it all. Training was harder than I imagined. The blisters, the endless drills, and the fear that maybe I wasn't cut out for it. You start to wonder if you're really ready for what's coming. We all had doubts, I reckon. Some days it felt like I'd signed up for something I couldn't handle. But you push through it, because you have to, and slowly the fear turns into something else. You realize you're not alone in it.
Thank you for transitioning to your comrades, because I was asking about that next anyway. What about you and the boys? How long have you been on the front lines now, and what would you say have been your proudest or most defining moments in that time?
Been out here about 6 months now, seen more in those months than most see in a lifetime. Proud, there was a time in Normandy, pinned down in a hedgerow. One of ours was hit. Me and 2 others crawled out under fire to get him. Daft maybe, but we saved him. That felt like something.
And when there's no fighting, in those rare moments of peace, what does your daily life look like? Where do you go? Who are you with? What does calm feel like?
We sit in shell holes or barn ruins, brew up tea if we can, write letters, swap stories from home. Jimmy plays the mouth organ, badly, but it's a comfort. We talk about footy, girls, pies. It's those slices of home you cling to.
Do you and the lads sing much music? The British are famous for keeping the spirits up through song. What are the songs you're singing out here? Can you share a favorite line and why it matters to you?
We sing, loud and off-key. Run, Rabbit, Run always gets a laugh. But the one that hits the heart is, We'll Meet Again. Vera Lynn's voice feels like home. Favorite line? Till the blue skies drive the dark clouds far away. That bit. That's hope.
That's certainly a chilling line, especially given the context. Now, William, as the days go by and you hear mailmen or lads from other units, what sorts of rumors circulate out here? What have you heard lately that gave you hope that this war might soon end?
You hear things that Berlin's running low on fuel, that the Yanks are pushing hard from the west, that Hitler's losing grip. One lad swore Churchill met with Stalin again and that peace talks were whispered. Truth? Dunno, but we let ourselves believe it.
What is your personal view on the Germans? Not the politicians, I mean the soldiers. Have you ever come face to face with one? Spoken with one?
William, we captured a young lad last month, barely older than me, scared stiff, didn't speak much English, didn't look evil, just tired, human. That stuck with me. It makes it harder, this whole business.
Why?
Because when you look at them, you see the same fear you've got in your eyes. You realize they're just lads, same as us, caught in the same nightmare. Doesn't make what they're part of any less wrong, but in that moment, it's hard not to feel something for them. War doesn't care who you are, it just drags you in.
Do you think you've learned something in this war, or maybe even through this war? Something that changed you, or some strange silver lining in all of this horror?
Aye. Life's fragile. Doesn't matter if you're a miner or a monarch. When shells fall, we're all the same. But also how deep courage can run in lads you'd never suspect, even in yourself.
Can you tell us one of those courageous stories you're speaking of? It's really intriguing and chilling as well.
There was one time in Normandy, in the thick of it, we were pinned down in a hedgerow, and one of the lads, Charlie, took a bullet to the leg. He couldn't move, and the enemy were closing in. Two of us, me and George, decided we couldn't leave him there. We crawled out under fire, barely making it through, and dragged him back. It felt like an eternity, but we got him to safety. Charlie never once complained. He just looked at us, grimaced, and said, "Cheers, lads." He never made it back to full health, but he was alive. It wasn't about heroics, really. It was just doing what needed to be done. But it stays with you, that moment. Shows you the lengths you'd go for each other.
What do you and the lads think should happen to Germany after the war?
Part of me wants them flattened. Every brick. Other part knows not every Jerry's a monster. But they let this happen. There's got to be justice. Proper justice. And a reckoning. You can't just forget what they've done. Not to the people. Not to the world. But you also wonder what happens next. You can't keep hating forever. There's got to be something better than more blood.
You just mentioned the word Jerry. Can you explain that to the viewers?
Jerry is what we call the Germans. It's a nickname, really, used by the lads when we're talking about the enemy. I suppose it came from the way they looked in their helmets, or maybe it just became a part of the slang over time. It's not meant to be personal, but it's what we used out here. It's a way of distancing ourselves from the fact that we're all human, I suppose.
Okay, to move away from the dark thoughts for a second, let's think about something nice and warm. Let's think about home and your family. What is the first thing you would want to do when you see them again?
First thing, easy. I'll head straight back to Sunderland, find me Mom and Dad, give them both a proper hug. Been too long since I've seen them. Then I'll go down to the local pub, have a pint with the lads who made it back. We'll talk about what we've been through, but mostly I just want to feel like things are normal again. Maybe I'll take a walk by the sea, something quiet, just to clear me head. Can't wait for the peace, the sound of the waves, and just being home again. It feels like a lifetime away, but that's the dream. Get back, start over.
Thank you for this insight. Now let's shift back to what's happening at the moment around us. What do you think makes the British soldiers stand apart? What do you think the world should remember about you and your comrades?
We've got grit. Plain and simple. We queue without complaining, we laugh in the mud, and we march with a stiff upper lip. One lad said, "Only Britons would apologize to the enemy for arriving late to battle." That's us, proudly daft.
How often do you write letters home, and who do you address them to? What would be written down in a normal letter from you to let us know?
I try to write when I can, though it's not as often as I'd like. Mostly to me, ma'am. I always tell her I'm safe, don't want her worrying. I'll mention Annie. Tell her I still have the hanky she made me. Give me love to Dad. And if she hears Vera Lynn on the wireless, I always tell her to think of me. And I'll promise I'll be home soon, even though I don't know when. I don't write too much about the war itself, you know? Just keep it light for their sake. I don't want them to know everything. I end it with "Love, Will." Simple, but it feels like I'm still there with them.
That's beautiful. Before we wrap this up, William, is there anything else you would want to say to those watching or listening to this? in the future?
Just remember us as people, not numbers, not medals. We were scared. We were brave. We joked, we cried, and we did it not for glory, but because someone had to. Don't forget that.
What we've just heard from William Carter is a reminder that history is not only written in dates and battles, but in the lives of ordinary people. Behind every story of war are families waiting at home, friendships forged in the mud, and hopes for a life beyond the chaos. William, thank you for sharing your story with us today. It was truly inspiring, and we wish you all the best. For those listening in, if this conversation moved you, please like and subscribe the channel and leave a comment below to let us know who you want us to talk to next. Sharing these stories keeps the memories alive, and if you're interested in more conversations like this, check the video linked here. My name is GrAI, and this has been GrAI's Thoughts. Until next time, take care, and I'm looking forward to see you in the next episode.